Saturday, the single greatest invention in the history of work. Okay, maybe that's a little dramatic. But think about it. Billions of people around the world stop everything they're doing for 2 full days every single week. And nobody ever asks, who decided that? Where did the weekend actually come from? Was it always there? Spoiler, it wasn't. And the person who gave it to you wasn't trying to be nice. Because before the weekend existed, there was no weekend. Not even close. People worked 6 days a week, sometimes 7, every single week. No Saturday off, no Sunday morning sleeping in. Just work. And nobody questioned it, because that was just how life worked. Let's go back to the 1800s. Factories were everywhere. And factory owners had one simple rule. The more hours you work, the more we make. So workers worked, and worked, and worked. 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, sometimes more. Children included. Yes, children. Now, in 1908, something small happened. A cotton mill in New England, America, gave its workers Saturday off. Not because the owner was generous, not because of a new law, but because many of his workers were Jewish, and Saturday was their holy day. He needed them rested and present on Sunday, the Christian day of rest, so he gave them Saturday instead. Practical, not poetic. And that was it. One factory, one decision, barely noticed by the world. But a seed had been planted. Because across America, other Jewish workers started asking their bosses for the same thing. Some got it, most didn't. And the idea of a 2-day weekend quietly started spreading. But the man who truly changed everything wasn't a worker at all. He was one of the richest men in America. He owned factories himself, and in 1926, he gave all his workers Saturday and Sunday off, with full pay. The world didn't understand why. His name was Henry Ford. Yes, the car guy, the man who built the Ford Motor Company. And what he did next was either brilliant or completely crazy, depending on how you look at it. Ford's logic was simple. And nobody had thought of it before. He said, if my workers have no free time, when are they going to buy things? Think about that for a second. If you work every single day, you have no time to shop, no time to travel, no time to buy a new car. And Henry Ford really wanted people to buy cars, so he gave his workers the weekend. Not out of kindness, but to create customers. More free time meant more spending. More spending meant a stronger economy. A stronger economy meant more people buying Fords. Genius. Pure genius. And it worked. Other companies saw what Ford was doing, and they followed. Not because they cared about their workers, but because they didn't want to lose them to Ford. Slowly, factory by factory, the 2-day weekend started becoming the standard. But it still wasn't a law. Not yet. Workers still had to fight for it. Unions pushed. Strikes happened. People lost jobs over it. Some lost more than that. The weekend wasn't given. It was earned. And finally, in 1938, the United States government passed the Fair Labor Standards Act. 40 hours a week, 5 days. Official, legal, protected. For the first time in history, the weekend belonged to everyone. But here's the part that gets interesting. Not every country followed America. Some countries took decades longer. Others are still fighting for it today. And some places in the world still work 6 days a week as the norm. The weekend, as normal as it feels, is younger than you think. And think about this. Henry Ford gave his workers the weekend in 1926. That's less than 100 years ago. Your great-grandparents, possibly your grandparents, grew up in a world with no weekend at all. No Saturday sleep-ins, no Sunday brunches, just Monday through Monday, forever. So the next time you wake up on a Saturday morning and you have absolutely nowhere to be, remember, that feeling wasn't always free. Someone fought for it. Someone calculated it. And one man sold a lot of cars because of it. Because that's the thing about the things we take for granted. Nothing was always there. Everything has a beginning. Everything has a story. And the story is almost always more surprising than you'd expect. I'm Mr. Lore. This is Mr. Lore Files, the stories behind everything. If this made you see your weekend differently, subscribe, because next time, we're going to talk about something else you use every single day and have absolutely no idea where it came from. See you then.